Hello, and welcome to a new episode of this JPAD Modeller tutorial series. In this video you will see how you can model the external geometry of a fuselage. The JPAD Modeller fuselage is made up of three main parts, or trunks. A nose trunk, a cylindrical trunk, and a tail trunk. Each trunk can be shaped quite independently, in terms of length and cross-sectional parameters. A portion of the Fuselage Input tab in JPAD Modeller is dedicated to the set of fuselage global parameters. Here, you can set the overall length of the fuselage. You also have a section summarizing the main geometrical characteristics of the fuselage, such as the actual lengths of each subsection. These parameters cannot be edited directly, since they are considered as derived data in the parametric model. In the next sections of the Fuselage Input panel, you can set the relative length of each trunk, as well as the parameters defining the cross-section shapes. The height and the width of the cross-sections are defined in the portion of the Fuselage tab dedicated to the cylindrical trunk. These values are kept for all the length of this trunk of the fuselage, while for the remaining sections, values are consistently interpolated according to the selected relative length. The shape of a generic cross-section can be defined by means of three parameters. One is called section lower to total height ratio, and defines the height of the lower portion of the fuselage cross-section relatively to the total height. The other two are called row upper and row lower respectively. They define the shape of the upper and lower portions of the cross-sections. These parameters manage the control points of a Bezier curve. Values close to 0 imply a rounded shape of the edges, while values close to 1 lead to a squared cross-section. Additional parameters can be defined for the nose and tail trunks, which define the dimensions and the type of windshield, as well as the position in the vertical direction of the nose tip and of the tail tip. You can also tweak the length of the nose and tail caps as a percentage of the overall length of the parent trunks. An important feature you're provided with is the possibility to rapidly update the geometry of the fuselage, according to a predefined strategy. You can choose between 9 different fast strategies, which allow you to generate a completely new fuselage, by just updating one parameter at a time. You can find out more about these strategies, as well as a practical example, in a dedicated video at the end of this playlist. By clicking on the double arrow at the top of the Fuselage tab, you will open a new tab at the right of your screen. In this tab, you will be able to select between different 2D views of the fuselage. The lower portion of this tab contains a data log that summarizes the main characteristics of the fuselage. Alright. In the next video, we will explore the content of the cabin data section. So, see you there.